We're live, guys. Hey, guys, welcome to the special edition of TFL Today, coming to you right from, I believe we're in Troy, Michigan, right? Isn't that right?
Warren, I think.
Warren, Michigan.
I'm not sure.
Warren, Michigan.
Yeah.
And this is my man, Craig Cole. If you guys are fans of YouTube, you will know that Craig is from our very friendly and nice auto guide. Our Canadian friends, except you're not Canadian.
I'm a local from Michigan here. Yeah.
He's local.
Hornswoggled into another
Koopa
one.
Loopa says hi.
Everybody says hi.
Hello.
Hello. So we're here at GM's Heritage Collection, which is not open to the public. Basically, this collection has 170 significant cars on display, but GM has a total of 700 cars. Now, you can only get here by being invited here. Or
You gotta know a guy.
You gotta know a guy, yeah.
Then you gotta have the password to get in the door. You gotta know which door to go to.
Exactly. So we knew the guy.
Don't try to find
we knew the password. So we're going to give you kind of a walkthrough of some of the most significant General Motors cars, and we thought it'd be fun to start right here with the Cadillac collection, and that is a 1959 Cadillac Eldorado Berlitz. By the way, Craig, what the hell is Berlitz?
Isn't that a sort of seductive dance?
I don't know what Berlitz is.
Oh, that's burlesque. I'm sorry.
That's burlesque. Because we're going up next. We're going to the Brougham. I don't know.
They like the B name.
I don't know what the Brougham is either. It must be a Mr. Brougham.
I think Brougham was a carriage type.
But this.
But it's a Cadillac here.
But this Cadillac is significant because it has the world's largest tail fins. 12 inches, Craig. 12 inches of tail fin.
I don't believe you, Roman. Why don't we take a look?
Why don't we show them? Why don't you go show them?
That's got some girth.
Look at that. Look how tall that is.
And dangerous. Look at this. If you're backing up,
that is very
you're not gonna
dangerous.
want to get...
Look how pointy that is. Everything is pointy about this car. People love this Cadillac. Now, next to it, Craig, is even a more interesting Cadillac. So let's go over here. Up front. Let's go back up front. Yeah, show them the interior. It's pristine. It's gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
We're not supposed to touch the cars, by the way.
I'm looking with my hands.
Yeah, look with your hands. Don't look with your eyes, not with your hands.
You want to talk about the Brougham?
I'm going to talk.
The Brougham.
I'm going to talk about the Brougham because this car is actually really unique. It's a 1957 Cadillac Brougham, and this Cadillac, Craig, was 3 times as expensive as a regular Cadillac of the era. And you know why that was?
I have no idea. You're paying for the extra lettering?
No, you're not paying for the extra. First of all, that roof, stainless steel.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes. The wheels, first use of aluminum wheels in any car.
Wow.
Come over.
Let's
take a look. Show me the aluminum wheels. And then it gets even better than that, Craig.
I don't believe you, Roman.
Yeah, it gets better.
Can't.
It gets better. So let me show you. Kyle, show him this. What do you think that is, Craig? That thing right there.
Oh, that's for the automatic high beams.
Exactly.
It's called the Safety Sentinel. At least it was an Oldsmobile had Safety Sentinel.
That was the first
Cadillac
use.
might be something else.
That was the first use of the automatic high beams, and this car had it. Now the coolest thing about this car is you can't see it, but in the glove box, right? They had magnetic cups. Actually, wine decanters, so you could drink.
What?
Yes, you could drink your wine or your cognac, and it would hold to the car, so the glass would not
You're
spill.
less apt to splash it on your Sunday best
it
or
also-
your finery. And
It also
you have like a Bordeaux. That's a dark red, and that's gonna leave a mark when you're
It also,
drinking and
get
driving.
this, it also came with its own cigarettes. Cadillac branded cigarettes.
They didn't want to live past like 40 back then, I guess, right?
and
Like it's just a bad idea on top of the other.
And they only made 400 of these, so if you
Maybe
want,
we're lucky
that we didn't get them.
and everybody wasn't drinking and driving.
Let's look at this Cadillac because
this
is also significant. This is a 1931 Cadillac V16, and Craig, they made the V16 from 1930 to 1940. This car, actually the coupe version of this car, was owned by Al Capone. And you know why it was owned by Al Capone? Can you guess why it was owned by Al Capone?
Because he liked cylinders? I don't
Very close. You're close. He had a special one that was, of course, armored made. But let me give you a hint why it was liked by Al Capone. Come on with me. I'm going to show you something. There's something really unique. Look, come with me.
I'll follow.
Come with me. So check this out. Check this out. Show them the dashboard, and you will notice that there is a speedometer on the dashboard, right? That's normal, right? Most cars have speedometers. Now, if we go back here, look what you find here. Look what's in the back seat. You see what that is?
An altimeter. Oh,
No,
yeah.
a speedometer. No, there is a speedometer in the back of this car, and the reason there's a speedometer in the back of the car was it was one of the first cars that could do and sustain 100 miles an hour.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and so
And
when
as
you,
I recall, the Buick Century was as well, like the first car that could, maybe not, the biggest first production car. I'm
Yeah.
sure I'm screwing something up, but 100 miles an hour. That's why it was called the Century, not
Right,
because that's
right.
how old the customers were.
and this is a car that was incredibly powerful. I don't know what a 10-cylinder, no, was it 10-cylinder? 16, right?
Yes,
a
this is a
16-cylinder.
V16.
Yeah, I don't know how many liters a 16-cylinder put out.
Well, they've got two on display in this engine area here. If you want to
Let's go
take
look
a
at
gander.
it. But it did go 100 miles
And
an
look
hour.
at how high you sit.
Yeah.
We're like chest high. It's like a parade.
And by the way, guys, we're going to end this show on the most expensive car here. At least the most expensive production car. It's worth $8.5 million. And it looks like something out of a movie. It's crazy.
I haven't even seen it yet.
That's what we'll,
I don't know what it is, folks.
There are a lot of prototypes here which potentially are more valuable, but they'll never see the open market, right? Like for instance, they've got the prototype for the C2 Corvette here.
Okay.
What the one from the 50s Corvette to
Yeah.
the 60s Corvette. We'll show them that. But let's see that engine. Let's
There are
see.
two of them because I guess they had two generations of the V16.
Yep.
An earlier one and then a later one. But this is the later one, 38,
Yep.
at least according to the placard. And you can see it's literally two inline eights joined together at a common crankshaft. You've got separate distributors and carbs and everything.
So basically, it's two V8s glued together.
Two inline eights.
Inline, two
Yeah.
V8s. And this is the one that's in that car right here, right? It's a
This is the
1930.
earlier version. And you can see the differences, the way the carbs and the manifolding is. These are different generations of engine. If you care to go off into the technical weeds, but I suspect you don't.
How many liters do you think that is?
7, 8, I don't know. I had to pull up the Wikipedia page.
That is more than. That is more. So we have a Lincoln Continental from '77, the
Okay.
Diamond Jubilee. That's got the 460 in it,
Oh, big block.
the big block, and that puts out like 7.2 liters. That is more than 7.2 liters. You gonna look?
Let's keep walking.
Let's
but
keep walking and-
you had another car in mind. I'm gonna do the research here, folks, by going to
Come on with you.
Wikipedia.
Have you-
What that's
Craig,
worth.
have you heard of the BMW Isetta?
Yes.
Okay. And have
It's
you-
like a golf cart kind.
It's like a golf cart, and have
But
you-
smaller.
And have you heard of the Smart Car?
Of course, I've driven many a smart car.
And you know that the GM did that car long before Smart ever did that car. Check this out. Electric, Craig. Look at this. It's the GM experimental. This is the experimental city car. This is the gas, and over here is the battery
Are
car.
you sure this isn't a Hot Wheels or what are they? What are the kids ones called? The Power Wheels.
No, it's.
You sure?
Yeah, and look how it opens up. I said up. Check this out. I'm not supposed to do this, so don't tell the.
Don't tell the PR person running the camera right now. Oh, special effect.
Look at that. Look how it opens up.
Oh wow.
Just like an Isetta.
What year did the Isetta come out?
That was after the war. It was that was BMW building cars that they weren't allowed to build airplane engines because of the fact that they were, well, of course, supplying the World War II Nazis. Over here,
7.4 liters for the early one.
Well, we
Let's
were
see.
really close. 7.4.
Let me see if they've got one listed for later. For the
Alright.
V16, 38 to 40. 7.1 liters. They made it smaller, probably for fuel efficiency.
All right, now next to us is a
Is that
Corvair.
important?
Yes, very good. Thank you for. Next to us is a Corvair,
Wikipedia.
and look what's special about this Corvair.
Electric Corvair.
An electric Corvair.
It's a lot of lead acid or silver zinc. I have never heard of that battery chemistry.
I've never heard of silver zinc, but this was long before the current electric car craze. Here we
Yeah.
have it in a Corvair. It's an electric Corvair. Now,
Shocking.
speaking of alternative power plants, I want to show you a power plant that is beyond alternative. Are you ready?
Is this the future?
This is the
Is
future.
this just a time machine?
This is the future. Come on with
Show
me.
me.
Let me show
I have
you.
not been through the museum yet. No,
Now, of course,
it's not that.
no, it's not that.
Oh,
We're-
can I
we're-
ride in that?
No, you can't ride in that. We're gonna go.
Can I ask somebody else to give me a different answer?
We're gonna go check out a Firebird,
Okay.
but it's not internal combustion engine Firebird. It's
Is it steam powered?
No, it's not steam powered. Come on. I'm gonna give you a hint. It looks like something out of the Jetsons. And there are actually three of them.
3 of them.
3 of them. Check it out.
Holy mackerel.
So this, Craig, is a turbine-powered Firebird.
Wow.
And I think it's a 50s.
I didn't even realize they built those. I know Chrysler had
Chrysler had
a
them,
dozen maybe that they made.
but this is
turbine cars.
this is the 1954 Firebird Experimental 1. Was America's very first powered by a gas turbine. So this was before the Chrysler turbine.
Wow.
And then
That's where they got the idea.
Matthew Dvorsky wants to know if Charlotte is behind the camera.
No, that's Kyle behind the camera. Sorry, Kyle.
Kyle the girl.
Yeah, Kyle from GM is helping us out. Now over here, they kept going, right? So that was experiment 1.
This must be number 2.
This is a 1-seater, of course. Let's show them the family version of this.
It's got a back.
This is the 56. Why don't you walk around, Kyle, and give them a look at that. Look at the tail fin on that.
And I'm sure bias ply tires too. Look at those fenders, they're crazy. Or wings, or whatever they are.
And then GM didn't stop there. In 1959, we built another one. I think these are as close to Jetsons cars as you can get.
Literally bubble car.
You know, I'm really kind of bummed out. When I was young, I actually thought we'd be driving these cars.
Flying cars, right? Everybody have those now.
Now we're,
It's not much different.
no, now we're not driving these. But let's keep going. So, have you heard about the fact that GM, and of course they haven't confirmed this yet, is coming out with a mid-engined Corvette?
I've heard certain rumors.
Yes, the rumors are out there. So, you think that's new?
Probably not.
No, because I'm going to show you the Corvette.
I'm right, yeah.
I'm going to show you a Corvette that's mid-engine.
You mean this NSX?
This is a 1972 mid-engined Corvette.
The 72 Reynolds Corvette Experimental.
Yes. And next to it is the next year, the 73 mid-engine Corvette, the
And-
Aerovette.
That's funny though. It's the Reynolds Corvette because it says they partnered with the aluminum foil maker because the body's aluminum.
Exactly. Exactly.
Reynolds wrap.
Now, before we get to the most expensive car here, I'm going to show you a really cool collection of cars that I think you'll appreciate because these, and I'm not talking about the Corvettes, these are cars that speak to my heart. Specifically 2 cars, and let me show you what those are.
Alan Zolotov wants to know if there are any boat cars there.
Boat cars? Amphicar? I don't think so. Some are large enough to be yachts. At El Dorado we started with, I think.
Well, here it is. It's the Vega. Now, of course, what happened in the 70s is that fuel prices went through the roof. The Japanese came in with their fuel-efficient cars. The American manufacturers were caught flat-footed.
Had to scramble to respond.
And they scrambled to respond, and they did so with pretty crappy cars at the time. Actually, I think Motor Trend called this the car of the year. But this was the Vega. What makes this car significant? Let me show you, Kyle. Show them this. Look at this.
First built.
This is the first Vega ever. How crazy is that? And of course, my friend in college had the car next to us. With the Chevette. Look at this. The 76 Chevette.
With the plastic still on the
Yes.
Are those seats? Or
Those
what
seats.
the hell are those?
Show me inside.
The fabric is crazy.
I paid 84.
New car, never driven by the dealer.
This is a new car that was never titled, but that interior was a $180 option.
To look that bad.
Yeah, that was a $180 option. And we're just looking at the electric Corvair.
Thomas Mikan wants to know if there are any Blazers here.
There are Blazers here. There are. We'll show them to you. Here's a Corvair, but a lot of these cars, if you look in the windshield, say first built or last built.
So milestone.
Right. So these are all milestone models. The Tornado there. Let's go show
That's
the
a
Tornado.
beauty. That is a beautiful
That
car.
is the first GM front-wheel drive car.
That is something.
Subtle. That's why I like it.
This was what American designed.
Yes, this is one of the most beautiful cars ever made.
Well, they built, what did you say, rated Park Drive.
It's got a 3-speed automatic, if I'm not mistaken, big V8 engine. But look at the dash-to-axle ratio here. So the base of the A-pillar to the edge of the wheel well. It's huge. No front-drive car has that today.
Carl, show them this car. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's when GM design was at the pinnacle.
What year is it? A 66?
It's a 66, yeah. Very first 66.
Beautiful. That's when GM probably had half of the market in the U.S. too, right?
Yeah.
They were damn near a monopoly.
Let me go show you let me go show you guys one of the most significant cars here, especially if you're into Corvettes. Come out with me.
What about like the curved dash Olds?
Oh yeah. So Craig, here's a quick question for you. This is a 442 W30. What does the 442 stand for? You should know that.
Four barrels, 4 seats, 2 doors.
You're close. It's a 400 the size of the engine.
Okay.
4-barrel. Until I forgot what the 2 stands for. 2 air intakes. No,
it's all about the engine though.
Yeah, it's about the performance of the thing. So whatever. I forgot. I actually forgot. So
just do a search on it.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments what the 442 stands for. Definitely 4 barrels. Definitely 400 cubic inch engine. I forget what the 2 stands for.
I thought it was 2 doors, but
Yeah, it's 2 doors. He's right.
Wrong.
2 doors.
Am I right?
You are right.
Miles would like to know if there's an 82 Corvette prototype here.
There is. Let me show you some of the prototypes. That's where we're heading to right now. We're going to the prototype. Come look. There's actually probably the most significant. And look at this. Show them that car. Just turn.
The Holden.
There's a Holden here. Once upon a time, GM used to own Holden in Australia for all you Aussie out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that one's significant.
Why
but,
not?
But I think the Corvette's probably a little bit more interesting.
I love the sense this.
Ryder is wondering if he is seeing a Plymouth Prowler.
I would suspect.
No.
Is that about this one?
These are the
SSR, right?
It's the SSR, yeah. So I think the one over there, the last one, that's the last build. If you go to the windshield, it'll say the last build. So that's why it's here. Let's say last build. Last build. Show them see on the corner of the windshield.
Very curious font for this.
David Wallace says 442 name is from the 4-barrel carburetor, 4-speed manual transmission, and dual exhausts.
Oh, we had it completely wrong.
Enough in doubt, just make it up, right?
All right, so this is one of the most significant cars here. A car you can probably not put a price on. This one right here, because this is the Mako Shark. So originally, the Corvette was obviously a 50s car. And then Ed Wells came along, who was the designer of the C2, and designed this. And he was a big fisherman. He loved to fish. So he took the fish theme, actually more of a shark theme, and actually applied it to the Corvette, and took it from kind of the 50s era to
which is right next to it,
to the prototype. And then we'll actually show you the car that was built. This was the prototype, and then we'll show you the car that ended up being built. So why don't you give them a walk around the Mako Shark? It's really cool. But show them a little Mako Shark.
The gradient paint job is very cool. I don't know how you do that.
Look at this. Isn't that cool? Look at the Mako Shark.
Dinosaur plays and should be way back when.
Alright, so let's show them the car that was actually built so you can really see the difference. So, of course, here's the 50s Corvettes, the C1. Here's the 63, and you can certainly see the resemblance to the Mako Shark.
Looks a little more pedestrian friendly. It doesn't come out to a big sharp point.
No, it's not as sharp and pointy.
Yeah.
It won't impale as many people.
Alright.
We go look at trucks.
Why don't we look at trucks? Because Chevy trucks isn't in my country.
Should we go look at some trucks?
Kind of important.
Let's go look at some trucks. Come on.
Oh.
Let's go look at some trucks. I'm going to show you an interesting. I'm going to show you an interesting. Well, it's not really a truck, but let's see if you guys can figure out why this very first El Camino is significant. So kind of walk them around, show them the color, look at the colors, look at the styling, and there's something important about this vehicle. besides the fact that it's one of the early El Caminos. Kyle,
Which I'm
you'll
pretty
appreciate
sure-
this.
I'm pretty sure that means the Camino.
The Camino.
Just so you know.
Is that French or?
Maybe it's Portuguese. So definitely Romance.
So have you guys realized why this is important? Look at the color combination. It's two-tone. Look at the colors. So back in
They don't do tombstone anymore, really.
No, they don't.
I wish they'd bring it back.
So what makes this car significant is that back in 1959, GM realized that women were a significant portion of their buyers, or they did. They realized it, and they had
They can drive these?
They had the kismet idea that women actually influence buying decisions. So this was one of the first GM vehicles that was designed by an all-female team.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not
Isn't that
know
cool?
that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, and you can tell. I mean, it's much more feminine than masculine.
It's sharp-looking car.
Yeah.
Or truck. Or whatever.
Yeah,
Truck.
car.
We'll
Yeah.
call it a truck.
With fins. All right, let's show some trucks. My favorite right here is this one. You know, I'm a big fan of the square body 1975 Chevrolet C10, and this is like a walk down memory lane because, of course, the most desirable ones were the custom. They were Scottsdale custom. They were the most expensive. And of course, we made them in two ways. We made them in step side and fleet side. And of course, this is
You gotta have step side.
you gotta have the step side, short bed. Show them the inside of that truck. It's like
What's
it's
under
pristine.
the hood, Roman? What engine do we
I
have?
bet you it's a 350.
Yeah. Because everything is.
Yeah.
Weren't you guys rebuilding one for off-roading? Or was that a Blazer?
Yeah, we got
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, it's a 85 K10. And then here's something interesting. So GM took part in the DARPA challenge, which was to make one of the first autonomous cars, and that car is here. And it wasn't that long ago. It was in 2007. But look how dated that car already looks.
I remember doing a news story on this in 2007 when I just got started in this.
Yeah. I mean, and that was an autonomous vehicle from 10 years ago, and now it looks like something out of the 50s.
It does, yeah.
Is
I mean,
it-
that'll fit like in one little sensor module now, right?
Are there any trucks or vehicles you want to show off before I go show you guys the most expensive car here?
Why don't we just go breeze by these older ones here?
Yeah,
You gotta
sure.
love the stuff from the 30s. I haven't had a chance to look around quite as much as Roman has, but I mean, you can really
I'm going to
see,
talk to the camera.
you can really see sort of the styling changes, the evolution that occurred from these trucks, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s on up. That I mean, just how much vehicles changed over those decades, right? I mean, they all ran on gasoline, they're rear-wheel drive and stuff, had an open bed, but look at the differences.
So, of course, this is one of the first, well, it is the first SUV, right? The Chevy Suburban is the first SUV.
Yeah.
And here's one of the early ones. That's a 46, and here we go. That's a 36.
That's 10 years difference.
That's
right
10
there.
years difference in truck. And, you know, Chevy invented the modern SUV, and it goes way back to 1936. It's really cool.
And if I'm not mistaken, Suburban is the oldest running nameplate in the industry.
It is, yeah. So there you have it.
That's where it got started.
You've got where it started. And of course, as we get older, we get into the older trucks here.
Another 36. This is more of an open bed. The Canopy Express. And then the really old stuff is on the end. The Chevrolet Superior 6.
Wow,
Superior
26.
Series X. Is there like a standard? I don't want the Superior. It's going to cost too much. I want the regular Series X.
All right, let's go show them the most expensive production car that's in the collection on display. Now, a lot of these cars, of course, are concept cars. So like that Mako Shark is priceless.
Yeah.
It's the only one of its kind. It'll never get sold. But this car actually was sold, and recently they found one in a barn that was completely taken apart. It was in total bad condition, and it sold for $1.5 million. So they estimate that this production version of this Oldsmobile is worth
It's an
$8.5 million.
Oldsmobile.
So let me show you. And it feels like something out of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. The other cool thing about this car is it's one of the largest cars ever built in America. Cars. So let's go.
Gigantic.
Yeah, let's go check this out. It's, like I say, something really unique and really cool. And it's kind of stuck away in the corner here.
It deserves a place of prominence.
It does deserve a place
on a
of
giant
prominence.
stack of money, right?
So here we have it. It's the 1911 Oldsmobile Limited. Why don't you look at this?
How tall the front
Look,
Why do you need a car this big?
Look at the engine.
Why?
Look at this engine. Look at that. Oh my God.
It's insane.
Let me put my hand in there so you have some perspective. That's one of the cylinders. That's how big they are. Look at this exhaust manifold. I can't even wrap my finger around it. It's so massive.
And the pinstriping and the little carpeted running boards and the brass fittings.
And long before the Suburban, we had seating for 7. Show them the interior, Kyle. Would you be so kind? Look at that.
Jump seats. Come on, Mabel, we're taking the automobile out today. Look at the top. I can't even.
And look at the wheels.
It's huge.
And I love the fact that underneath it's leaking oil.
Well, if they're not leaking or smoking, they're empty. You gotta keep these old cars topped up. You got a little like tray under it. Firestone tires.
Yep.
On the wooden spoke wheels.
Yeah, who could imagine like trying to find somebody who could actually make those wheels today? We have a friend, Jeff, who has a Model T.
Oh yeah.
And he says even finding somebody to make a wooden wheel is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Imagine making that wooden wheel, right? That is
Model T, yeah, it's pretty common.
And
to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, I just want to thank you for taking the time to do a quick walkthrough here at the GM Heritage Collection. This is not open to the public, unfortunately. They do have private events. Kyle, I want to thank you behind the camera for doing a great job and being our videographer. And mostly, I want to thank my man Craig Cole.
I didn't do nothing. Come on.
My buddy from AutoGuide. Remember, check out AutoGuide.com, where Craig is not only featuring his videos, his reviews, his opinion videos. Sometimes, but he also writes for AutoGuide.com.
Yes. Thank you for the plug.
Yeah, and tell them about the fact that you're doing a Facebook Live tomorrow, if people are interested from Woodward.
Yes, we'll be up on Woodward at 15 Mile and Woodward in Birmingham. We'll be going live hopefully around 11 a.m. We'll see how that goes, but we'll be bringing you all the action from where it's happening, right on historic Woodward Avenue. And we hope to do one also a little bit later in the evening, sort of cruising Woodward as well. So make sure you check it out if you're not here. It's good stuff.
Yeah, check out his Facebook page, the AutoGuide Facebook page. We'll be doing more YouTube live videos from Woodward as well. Thanks for joining us. As always, this is Roman and Craig saying check out both AutoGuide and TFLcar.com. See you guys next time. Ciao.